and I also hope that you had an amazing day. All right, so for today, we are going to be doing our grade 5 English lesson on nouns. And before we start with our English lesson on nouns, you're going to log into the aplusstudents.ca page. And once you've logged into aplusstudents.ca with your username as well as your password, you are then going to select the subject of language arts, which is English. All right, and then grade 5. All right, so once we have selected the subject of language arts, grade 5, we are going to scroll down the chapters up until we get to nouns. And then we are going to select the chapter of nouns. All right, so under the chapter of nouns, we are going to be focusing on the lessons of identify nouns with abstract nouns. And then we're also going to identify common as well as proper nouns, right? So we are doing the chapter of nouns, and the lessons that we're going to be focusing on is identify nouns with abstract nouns and to identify common nouns as well as proper nouns. All right, so we're going to go into our first lesson, which is to identify nouns. All right, and before we go on to our tutorial lesson on nouns, all right. Okay, so a noun. A noun is a person, or it names a person, a place, a thing, or an idea, right? So it either names a person, a place, a thing, or an idea, right? So that is a noun. So it can either name, we can either name general things or we can name specific things, right? So specific things like that is where the difference comes in with common and proper nouns, which we are going to find more about during the course of this lesson, right? So you can either, like we say, either general things, which is your common nouns, or it can be direct things, which is your proper nouns, like somebody's name, a name of a town, or so on, right? And then we have our ideas, and ideas we call abstract nouns, right? It is more something that you feel, than what you physically can feel. It's you feel it more emotionally than what you physically can feel, right? It's like to do with senses, right? But it's not something that you physically can touch. All right. So we're going back to our tutorial lesson, right? All right. So now we are first going to the lesson of identifying nouns with abstract nouns, right? Identifying nouns with abstract nouns. And now we have abstract nouns and we have concrete nouns, right? So a concrete noun, it names a person, a place, or a thing that is a physical object, right? Meaning that this is something that you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, or you can touch, right? So a concrete noun, it names a person, place, or thing that is physical. You can see it, you can hear it, you can smell it, you can taste it, and you can touch it, right? That is a concrete noun. But then we have an abstract noun, right? And it names ideas, it names feelings, it names qualities, or it names concepts, right? It is not a physical object. right? Meaning that it's something that you think about, right? It's in your thoughts, it's more like your emotions. It's something that you cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot smell, taste, or touch, but it is something that you can maybe feel. Like feel in the sense of emotionally, right? So, for example, if we make an example of a concrete noun, it says, for example, my friend, home, look, flower, right? So, friend is a general noun. That's my friend. It's like something that you say, that's my friend. John is my friend. Home, you can show to your home, right? Luke is the name of a person, right? Luke is the person or name of a person that is a concrete noun. And flower, flower you can touch and smell and see, for example, right? Then we have examples of abstract nouns, right? It is things like power, right? As much as we see power or strength on television, right? On cartoons or even on basically just in movies, right? But we can't see power. We can't even feel somebody's muscles and say that's power, right? The same with fear. We can't see fear, even though you can maybe see somebody's face shows a form of fear. But fear is not something that you can feel, that you can see or hear or touch, right? Same with wisdom, right? Wisdom is not something that you can't look at somebody and say that this person is wise, right? Or this person has wisdom. So we just assume that we can see, but we don't know how wisdom look. We don't know how wisdom sounds like, how it tastes, or even how it touches or feels, right? But wisdom is just your form of intelligence. Now somebody starts talking and you realize, this, sorry, this person is quite wise, right? Based on the conversation. But it's not something that you can hear or see because you cannot see wisdom on a person's face. Sunday, right? Sunday is a day of the week. And that is not a physical object, but it is a day of the week, right? It is another day that comes after Saturday, but it's not like you can say, I can see Sunday, because we don't see Sunday from where Wednesday is. Because if today is Wednesday, we can't see Sunday, right? But we know after Saturday will be Sunday. All right, so that is again the difference between a concrete noun, right? And concrete noun is things that are physical, people that we can physically see, or places that we can physically see, right? It means that you can see these things, you can hear these things, you can smell, taste, or you can even touch those things, right? Whereas with an abstract noun, once again, it names ideas. That is why they say a noun, it names a person, place, a thing, as well as ideas. And that is where the abstract noun comes in. So an abstract noun, it names an idea, right? It's the same if you have an idea, it was a thought that popped up in your mind, but it doesn't show like on television that, oh yeah, a box popped up. No, that it does not happen like that, right? Because remember, on television, they are basically just showing us forms of animations that we want to see, right? But ideas, feelings, qualities, or concepts are things that we cannot see. We cannot hear it. We can't say that fear sounds like on when we watch a scary movie and now there's that type of sound that plays to show that there's trouble coming, right? We cannot hear fear. Power, right? We can't see power. It doesn't mean because somebody has got muscles that they have power, right? And we cannot taste or touch or hear or see or smell wisdom. It's the same, like I was making an example and say that it is Wednesday today. We cannot say, I see Sunday. We say things like, I see Sunday, but we cannot see Sunday. All we know is that Sunday comes after Saturday, and Sunday is before Monday. All right. So that is the difference between a concrete noun and an abstract noun. All right, so now we are we're going to our first question, or let's say like mini activity. It says we need to select the abstract nouns in the sentence. And remember, we said an abstract noun, it names an idea, feeling, quality, or concept, and it's something that is not physical, right? Cannot see it, you cannot hear it, you cannot smell it, you cannot taste it, and you cannot touch it. Jessie has many interesting hobbies. So Jessie has many interesting hobbies. We need to choose the abstract noun. So in this sentence, we have two nouns, right? One being abstract and one being concrete, right? Which means that the one, they specifically want us to select the abstract noun, right? But if we were to select both nouns, then we can say Jessie is a noun as well as hobbies is a noun, right? And Jessie, it names a physical object or thing or person. So we can say this is a concrete noun. Whereas hobbies, it's abstract, right? So basically, if we were to select the abstract noun, then it means that our abstract noun is hobbies. Because hobbies is not something. Yes, hobbies are things that we do, right? It's things that you like, it's things that you are partaking in. But hobbies is not like, it's not a JC, right? It's not specifically saying it's a ball, for example. It's just that I play soccer or I'm interested in soccer or choir or so on. So that is the two nouns, and the abstract nouns is hobbies. Hobbies. So hobbies is an abstract noun. It is not a physical object, so it cannot be seen, heard, smelled, tasted, or touched. Whereas Jessie is a concrete noun. We can see Jessie. We can hear Jessie if she opens her mouth and she says something. We can touch Jessie, right? If Jessie puts on perfume, we can smell Jessie's perfume. So that is the difference between the two nouns, concrete noun and one being abstract. So now the next one, we need to select the one noun in the sentence. That idea is so clever. That idea is so clever. So we need to select the noun within the sentence. All right, and when we select the noun within the sentence, we can say it is idea, right? An abstract noun, it names an idea. An idea is like a thought, right? So idea is the abstract noun, not a concrete noun. It's not a physical object. It's not something physically. We cannot see it. We cannot hear ideas, we cannot smell ideas, we cannot taste ideas, and we cannot touch ideas. Right? So idea is an abstract noun. Now we need to select another noun within the sentence. The information is quite helpful. So we need to select the noun within the sentence. One noun. This information is quite helpful. So if we were to choose the one noun within the sentence, then we can say it's information. So information is our noun, right? It's an abstract noun. It is not physically, not a physical object, right? It's not things that we can see, hear, smell, taste. Yes, we give information to people. We tell people this is the information, right? We write down the information. But now it becomes physically when I write it down where somebody can see or maybe read it, but information is not something that you can see. We cannot say information is a whiteboard. No, we put the ideas and the information and things on the physical object, which is, for example, the whiteboard. But information cannot be seen. We cannot hear information pop up. We cannot smell information. We can't say information smells like sweet roses. And we cannot taste information. And also, we cannot touch information, right? It's like on cartoons or television or certain movies, right? They'll show people thinking about all these things, and now the ideas would pop out of their head and they would be touching all that information, would grabbing it. It does not work like that, right? Because information cannot be seen or touched. All right, let's go next. His future looks bright. We need to select one noun in the sentence. His future looks bright, right? So the noun within the sentence, right, is future. So future is something or things that is in a couple of years' time, right? As much as I can say that, oh, I can see his future looks bright, I can see it. We cannot see future, right? We cannot touch future, which means that future is an abstract noun. It is not physically. Specifically, we cannot see future. Future can be tomorrow, it can be next week, it can be next month, it can be next year, it can be in a couple of years' time, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. But we cannot see it. And yes, we do say, I can see my future is going to be bright. Yes, but it doesn't mean that we physically can see it. It's just that we envision something, it's in our mind, right? So now we know that one day I am going to be that doctor, or I'm going to be that scientist, right? Or that teacher, or so on, right? Because you are speaking that over yourself, but it's not something that you can say, I can see it, right? It is envisioning it, seeing it in your mind, but not physically seeing the future, right? And future is an abstract noun. And then we said that information in the sentence, the information is quite helpful. This is the abstract noun. This information is quite helpful. All right. So now let us go on to our test, right? Where we are identifying nouns with abstract nouns. And remember, we said abstract nouns, it is ideas and concepts, but it's not something that we can physically see, right? You cannot physically see it. We need to select the one noun in the sentence. His future looks bright. His future looks bright. We need to choose one of the nouns. Is it his? Is it future? Is it looks? Or is it bright? We need to choose the abstract noun within the sentence, the abstract noun. All right, so if we choose the abstract noun within the sentence, remember it's something that we cannot physically see, we cannot physically touch, we cannot physically hear, we cannot physically smell, see. Yeah. So if we choose or select the one noun, we can say future, right? Because we cannot see the future. That idea is so clever. That idea is so clever. We need to select one noun in the sentence. Is it that? Is it idea? Is it is? So? Or is it clever? We need to choose or select the one noun within that sentence. That idea is so clever. So we need to choose the abstract noun within this sentence. All right, so if we choose the abstract noun within the sentence, we're going to say idea, right? Idea. Because remember, idea is your thoughts, it's in your mind, it's your intellect, right? But it's not things that we can take and touch and give. You don't physically take it out of your mind and give it to somebody, right? Based on how we speak, that is ideas that we give over to someone. Kamal doesn't usually remember his dreams. So Kamal doesn't usually remember his dreams. We need to select the abstract noun within that sentence. Is it Kamal? Is it doesn't? Is it usually? Is it remember? Is it his? Or is it dream? We need to select the abstract noun within the sentence. Kamal doesn't usually remember his dreams. We need to select the correct one. All right, so if we select the abstract noun within the sentence, and then we will select dreams, right? Dreams. So at night, yes, we remember our dreams, or sometimes we don't remember our dreams. We have our dreams, but it doesn't mean that we can physically see our dreams. Things happen in our dreams, right? But doesn't mean that it physically happened like that. His interests are varied. His interests are varied. We need to choose the correct noun, or we need to select one noun that is an abstract noun within the sentence. Is it his? Is it interests? Is it are? or is it very? We need to select one of those nouns. An abstract noun. His interests are varied. All right. So if we select one of these words or the nouns, all right, let's choose interests. Right? It's things that he's interested in, his interests, right? But it doesn't mean it is like a physical thing, right? So well done. Hard work usually pays off. Hard work usually pays off. We need to select one noun within the sentence. Is it hard? Is it work? Usually pays or off. We need to select the one noun within the sentence. Hard work usually pays off. Is it hard? Work? Usually pays off. All right, so if we choose the abstract noun within that sentence, right? Hard work usually pays off. And then we are going to say, let's choose pays, right? Oh, it's work. Sorry, I chose the wrong one. So work, right? So work is the correct one. I apologize for that. So work is the correct one. So work is an abstract noun, right? So well done to that person that got it correct. So work is the correct one. And remember, sometimes it can be very tricky, the test, right? So what you do is if you get something incorrect, like in this case, the mistake that I made, you go to where the correct answer is, you copy the link, send it to us, and you will get 100 bonus points. All right. All right, so that was basically identifying nouns with abstract nouns, and well done to those who got it correct, right? Remember, we said abstract nouns are things that we cannot physically see, we cannot physically hear, touch, smell, or even taste, right? And now we are going on to identifying common and proper nouns, right? So, a noun, we said a noun is a word that names a person, a place, a thing, or an idea, right? And the ideas and ideas were mainly your abstract nouns, right? It is not things that you physically see, but it's mainly basically things that we feel, things that it's our thoughts and so on, right? But we can physically see people, we can physically see places, and we can physically see or touch things, right? So now we're first going on to a common noun. And a common noun, it names general types of things. A general person, a general place, a general thing, or even a general idea, right? So that is common nouns. So with common nouns also, it is not the name of a person. So which means that, yes, it does name a general type of person, but we are not directly saying Natasha, or we are not directly saying Mark, right? So we are not naming, we are not saying the name of the person, we're not saying the name of the place, we're not saying the name of the thing or the idea, right? It is generalizing. So instead of saying Sarah, we can say the girl. Instead of saying John, we can say the boy. And that is common nouns, general, right? Which means that it can refer to any boy. It doesn't necessarily have to mean John. It can refer to any girl. That is why we say it is general. And with common nouns, we do not capitalize common nouns. Common nouns need to be written in lower cases, right? A common noun is not capitalized unless the first word is a sentence, right? So, unless the first word is a sentence, then we capitalize it. However, common nouns, we do not capitalize it. It is all written lower cases. Then we have proper nouns, right? We have proper nouns. And a proper noun is the specific name of a person. Remember, we said a common noun, it names a general person. For example, girl, woman, man, boy, right? It can refer to any boy, any man, any woman, any girl, right? However, when it comes to proper nouns, it is specifically saying Natasha, specifically saying Mary. It specifically mentions your surname, which is Williams, right? It specifically says Canada, the name of a place. It doesn't just say the town or country. It, for example, says Canada, right? So a proper noun, it is the specific name of a person, the specific name of a place, the specific name of a thing, and the specific name of the idea, right? And when it comes to proper nouns, whether it is in the middle of the sentence, at the end of the sentence, at the beginning of the sentence, a proper noun is always capitalized. So you need to always capitalize a proper noun, not just the beginning of a sentence, right? So if we look at a few examples of common nouns as well as proper nouns, right? We said with common nouns, we, for example, say boy, right? And like we say, you can generalize this boy can mean any boy. If there's five boys standing in line, right? And you are saying the boy was talking. I won't know which boy was talking because there are five boys, right? However, if you say Jacob was talking, then I'll be able to identify Jacob out of the five boys that is standing in the line, right? So boy is a general common noun, right? Whereas Jacob, it's a specific name of a person, and that is a proper noun, right? Then we have day, and then we have Tuesday. If you say we are going to the beach on that day, but you did not mention what day, I am going to wonder what day are we going to the beach because there are 7 days in the week. Are we going on a weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday? Or are we going in the week, right? But if you give a specific day, for example, Tuesday, we are going to the beach, then I know this is, or that we are specifically going that specific day. So, day, which can be any day, is a common noun. And Tuesday, right? We are being specific about the day and we call this a proper noun. And as you can see, proper nouns are also written with a capital letter. All right, then we have street and we have Elam Street. Somebody maybe ask you, where do you live? And you say, I live down that street, or I live down that road. And we see lots of roads. This is basically just generalizing. It can be any street, right? But if you specifically say, I live in Elam Street, right? That is you specifying, I live in Elam Street, and that is a proper noun, not just general in any street. Because I can be walking down all of the streets looking for a red house, right? And I won't maybe find it because there are maybe 10 red houses in that street. All right, then we have city and we have Chicago. I'm going to the city. Which city? Right? General. Can be any city that you're going to because there's lots of cities. But if you're specifically saying, I'm going to Chicago, proper noun, then I know you are specifically going to Chicago, right? So this is basically common nouns as well as proper nouns. Common nouns, where we say it names general types of person, general types of places, general types of things or idea. It is not a name of a person. It is not the direct name of a place. It is not the direct name of a thing or a idea, right? And we also say that with common nouns, we do not capitalize it unless it is the first word of the sentence, right? Then we have our proper nouns, right? And with proper nouns, it is the specific name of a person. It is saying the person's name, it's saying the person's surname. John Peterson, right? You don't just say that man. You are specifically making mention of John Peterson. If you want to give a specific place, we specifically say Chicago. We don't just say the city. The same with a thing. It needs a specific thing and a specific idea. That is a proper noun. And with proper nouns, we always capitalize it. All proper nouns need to be written with a capital letter, whether it is at the beginning of a sentence, whether it is in the middle of the sentence, or even whether it is at the end of the sentence. But all proper nouns needs to be capitalized. We need to write it with a capital letter, right? So that is now the difference between a common noun as well as a proper noun. All right, so now we are going to select the common noun, right? Okay, let's go here. Select the proper noun, right? We need to select the proper noun within the sentence, right? Within 3 hours, 9 inches of rain had fallen in Clinton County. So within 3 hours, 9 inches of rain had fallen in Clinton County. We need to select the proper noun within this sentence. And remember, we said proper nouns are capitalized. It specifically names a person, the place, the thing, or an idea. So within 3 hours, 9 inches of rain had fallen in Clinton County. So if we were to select the proper noun, we will then select Clinton County, right? So the proper noun is Clinton County. Firstly, it is capitalized and it is the name of a specific county, right? It is the name of a specific county. All right. Asia shares its western borders with Africa and Europe. We need to select one common noun within the sentence. One common noun. All right, so if we select one common noun within the sentence, right, then we can say borders is a common noun, right? It can be any borders. Because remember, once you go to a different country, then we have borders that separates the one country from the other country. And that is why we need a passport, right? And so so borders is a common noun. And if we were to select the proper nouns within that sentence, we would then say the proper nouns is Asia, Africa, and Europe. But in this case, we just had to select the common noun, which is borders, which means that it can be any border. They're specifically talking about the western borders. All right. Now we're going onto our test. All right, so if we now go on to our test, it says we need to select the one proper noun. We need to select the one proper noun within the sentences. Pizza Italia has the best pizza. The crust is crisp and the cheese is delicious. We need to choose the one proper noun within the sentence. The proper noun. All right. So if we choose the one proper noun within the sentence, right, we are going to choose the first one, which is Pizza Italia. All right. So now we need to select one common noun within the sentence. Martin Luther King, a holiday that falls on the third Monday in. We need to select the common noun within the sentence. The common noun. All right, so if we select the common noun within this sentence, let us choose, Martin Luther King. Common noun? Oh, Martin Luther King is a holiday. All right, so in this case, Martin Luther King, they're saying that it is a common noun. Martin Luther King should actually be a proper noun, but okay, it is a common noun, right? Within the sentence. Just know that it can be tricky, right? Because you sometimes do question, like, isn't it supposed to be because it's the name of a person, right? Martin Luther King. But if it happens that you get an answer incorrect, what you can do is you go to where the correct answer is, copy the link, send it to us, and you will get 100 bonus points. All right, we need to select the proper noun. In the Nile, in the sun, to keep warm. We need to select the proper noun within that sentence. In the Nile, in the sunlight, to keep warm. All right, so if we select the proper noun within that sentence, we can choose in the Nile, right? Like the Nile River. All right, last one. Within 3 hours, 9 inches of rain had fallen in Clinton County. We need to select the proper noun. One proper noun. And if we select the proper noun, then we can say in Clinton County. All right. So basically, that is now our lesson or chapter on nouns. And we identified nouns with abstract nouns, and we also identified nouns with common and proper nouns. So, identified common and proper nouns. We said that abstract nouns are ideas, it's things that you cannot physically see, you cannot hear, touch, smell, taste, right? Like strength and power and ideas and information. Then we have common nouns, which names general people, general places, general things, general ideas. And then we have proper nouns, which mentions a specific name of a person, place, thing, or ideas, for example. And we always capitalize proper nouns. So, thank you very much for joining our lesson. That is the end of our lesson on nouns. You should have an amazing day further. Goodbye.